Morning guys, it's me, your online brother Jaspas deck, and welcome back to the vlog. On today's episode of the vlog, we're going to be checking out a deck that is meaningful, special, and has a very dear place in my heart. Today we're going to be checking out the Isometric Yes by Kenneth Aiden Fu. Let's go. Now the deck that we're going to be checking out today, the Isometric Yes, is the same deck that was featured in a previous episode of the vlog, so it's not shrink wrap, it's not anything like that, but it is still in a pretty new condition. I've used this deck for about 1 hour now, and to be honest, it still feels like it's pretty new. The reason why I say that this deck is a really special deck is because this deck was designed by Kenneth Aiden Fu in conjunction with his wife Demi, specifically for their wedding. So if you look at the bottom of the box right here, you see text that tells you that this deck was created for the wedding of Kenneth and Demi, which explains the name Isometric Yes. Now you might be wondering how many of these decks are out in the wild, considering these decks were printed specifically for a wedding. From my understanding, out of the 500 decks that were printed, 200 decks were given away at the wedding itself, leaving only 300 decks out in the wild, of which the new deck order has half of them and Kenneth himself has the other half. So with all of that out of the way, let's get down to checking out what's going on in Isometric Yes by Kenneth Aiden Fu. Now this is what the front of the box looks like. Beautiful whites, light blues, dark blues, greys. Beautiful combination of colors. This paint-like design is actually based on an artwork that Demi herself created. Now let's open up the box and check out the cards inside. Now inside the deck, you will find 4 ad cards. The first one being this one, a collage of different cards. Kenneth has designed this card to help you force a card into your audience member's mind, assuming you want to do some magic. So pretty cool card, pretty useful. The second card is this color band version of the back design, including a statement of what the cards mean. Isometric Yes, a special edition deck. Hello from Kenneth and Demi. You are holding Isometric Yes, a deck of playing cards created specially as a gift to our wedding guests in celebration of us saying yes to each other. Super cute, super awesome, and the message goes on a little bit more, but I will leave you to read the card when you do get a copy of this deck for yourself. Next up, we have a joker that looks like this, as well as another joker that looks like this. Now, the faces of the cards is actually where I truly fell in love with this deck of cards, because the faces of the cards have been treated with so much care and honesty and love and concern. Here's the King of Spades, and if you look at the face of the King of Spades, you can tell that that's an image of Kenneth himself. Very nice. Here's the Queen of Spades, that's an image of his wife, Demi. Very cute, very cute. And finally, if you look at the Jack of Spades, it's normal, or so you think. If you look closely on the clothing of the Jack of Spades, you'll be able to see the words NDO written on it. Kenneth actually reached out to me and asked if I wanted to put anything special on the deck itself. Super nice of him. The normal pip cards, the normal face cards, are absolutely normal all the way until we reach the Ace of Spades, in which you can see the isometric design with the Isometric Yes pattern superimposed onto it. Now we move on to the hearts. It looks pretty normal, but if you look at the clothing of the King of Hearts, the name Demi is actually there. Similarly, on the Queen of Hearts, the name Kenneth is there. The queens and the kings tend to be the ones that get really special treatment. To the Ace of Hearts, which has the color band version of the backs designed into the Ace of Hearts. Next, we move on to clubs, and the clubs represent the interests of our two main characters of this deck. The King of Clubs is holding a skateboard designed to look like a normal card design. Very cool. And the Queen of Clubs has boxing gloves on. Demi is a huge fan of boxing, or maybe Muay Thai, who knows. In the Diamonds, King of Diamonds hand, there's a bag of potato chips. Wrong.
I'll take a potato chip and eat it.
Some French fries. Kenneth being a huge fan of French fries. Queen of Diamonds is holding a brand neutral cup of coffee. Now with all of that said, let's check out how the deck feels in the hands. In terms of fanning, the deck fans absolutely perfectly. Pretty amazing considering the fact that this deck has been used for about an hour non-stop in the humid Singapore climate. The snappiness of the cards is A star, perfect snappiness. And the edges of the cards feel A star as well. Each individual card feels perfectly nice and soft, and the cards just feel like a delight in the hands. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot to show you guys the backs of the cards. Alright, here's what the backs of the cards look like. Nice contrasty colors. If you look at the silhouette of the cards from afar, you can see like this X shape that appears on the cards. It adds a lot of visual distinction to the cards. Very cool. And when you go close, you can see all the white lines that go across the cards. That looks pretty effing cool as well. The deck also features a really thin border design without being off-center. Can you believe that? There are companies that can print cards that are not cut off-center. Absolutely mind-blowing stuff. One interesting fact about this deck that kind of didn't quite shout out to the entire world is the fact that this deck is actually a marked deck of playing cards. So the deck is marked both in terms of the value and the suit of the cards, therefore making this deck of cards a really powerful tool if you're a magician trying to do some magic. I am not very well practiced with the marking system of this deck, but even I can tell that this is a king. Bam. The thing that I really love about the Isometric Yeses is that Kenneth really put a lot of care and concern into this deck. Like every bit of the deck has been customized to a point that shows how much love and care he has, not only for the cards but for Demi as well. And I think that makes this deck of cards truly one of those special decks that doesn't really come by very often. In playing card marketing, a lot of people throw around the term like a product of love very loosely and very willy-nilly. But this deck, the Isometric Yeses, truly are a product of love. I can't stress how much I love this deck of cards and everything it stands for. This deck is made with honesty and sincerity, and it's just amazing. Shouts to Kenneth. Congratulations, Kenneth, once again on your marriage with Demi, and I hope that you guys have a happy, loving life for the rest of your lives. Alright guys, so that's my review for the Isometric Yeses. Not so much cardistry in today's deck review because, you know, this deck stands on its own, it's meaningful, it's beautiful. There's not much to say about it. Now, if you're interested in getting for yourself some of these Isometric Yeses, great news. Kenneth has given me half of his remaining stock and the permission to sell it to you guys. He wants you guys to be able to get your hands on some of these cards as well. So if you're interested, these cards will be coming soon to the newdeckorder.com. Keep an eye out on our social medias at the New Deck Order, as well as... Hold up, I was wrong! We got an exact date for the release of the cards, 11th of August! So if you want to get yourself one of these decks, mark the date down on your calendar now! Until next time guys, it's been me, your boy Jaspas. Take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye bye.